All right, guys, this is going to be a really short video, but basically I feel compelled to record this segment. Basically, Ethan Klein is responding to Aubrey's chats that he left in my live stream that someone went through. They scrubbed my entire live stream looking for Aubrey Smalls' chats, and now, I guess, posted on Reddit, got enough likes in the H3 subreddit that Ethan is now reacting to. So let's just check out what Ethan has to say. And just once again, I am making this segment because this is something that was left in my live stream, so I actually know the context for where these chats left in, and we'll see how Ethan responds to it.
So he's gay.
Aubrey is back. He's double downing. He is refusing to apologize, just as I predicted would happen. Because trust me, Aubrey, we both know that having the snarkers mad at you is way worse than me being mad at you. You know what I mean?
That was an interesting point.
Aubrey Smalls.
And so that's funny. He's like, having the snarkers mad at you is worse than having me mad at you. And even if Sir Dan disagrees with that, he's like, that's an interesting point. Ethan is literally threatening to sue Aubrey because of all of the hatred that Ethan has aimed at Aubrey's way. He is getting doxxed, and now people are threatening to sue him. People are, giving him death threats, which I guess is normal with any kind of amount of hatred that you get online. But you can't deny that Ethan has really amplified all of this stuff. And so he's like, yeah, having the snarkers mad at you, what, the people with no power versus the guy with like 2.8 million subscribers on his podcast with a rabid and dedicated fan base.
I don't think it's wrong to ask. Is that his real name?
I don't know.
I was curious about that, but he goes by that everywhere on all platforms. So
That's his real last name?
it's possible.
That is always what I assumed.
It's just a little spin of irony.
I'm not 100% sure, just because he was like a comedian and actor, and
Yeah, it might be a stage
names
name.
a lot,
Yeah.
so it's not. But I can't say for sure.
Yeah, I mean, no, I'm wondering. I mean, genuinely.
Either or, it's pretty sick to own it like that. If he decided to pick that name,
And sick in a good way.
Yeah,
just to be clear for you.
it's pretty owning it. It's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, he says, I just wish you all could see the other 90% when they were talking over everything I said and just making jokes. What they show is them ultimately caving because they got bored with me. Bro, what are you talking about? Honestly, I went back to find the footage. I was like, I'll show the footage. I don't give a fuck, but it's so long gone. We don't have whatever we...
Go check out my live stream. I just showed the footage there. I find it hilarious that he's like, I can't find the footage, so I can't disprove you. And needless to say, you're full of shit, right? No, basically the unedited footage was just Aubrey being like, guys, you are being bigoted against little people. Let me explain what it's like to be a little person. And then they're going to make jokes about that. And then they cut him off and make jokes about it. And then every time he's like, well, you guys are making jokes about it. It's very uninformed. You guys, like, I signed on to have a serious conversation and you're just making jokes. You're not actually like taking this seriously. They cut him off with jokes again. Or the producer will be like, well, I think we're just having a circular conversation here. So thanks for coming on, Aubrey. So every time Aubrey Smalls opened his mouth to say that, we're not actually making progress. Let me actually explain what I came on to do, which is to show little people in a good light, be a representative of little people. Every time he did that, they would cut him off, both the producers and the comedians. And even directly after that experience that he had with those two comedians, he emailed Dan, who is the producer of the show, and said, yeah, I didn't do what I wanted to do. Can I come back on? And Dan is like, yeah, that got really awkward in there. Hope it wasn't too spicy for you. Hope it wasn't too much for you. We'd love to have you come back on so you can actually do what you said you wanted to do, which is to educate people and be a good representative of little people on the H3 podcast. So immediately after that segment, they had Aubrey back on in the very next episode. So it's just funny, right? Like, they had an acknowledgement that Aubrey was not able to do what he wanted to do because they were making jokes and cutting him off every time he actually opened his mouth.
Edited out, which I don't know how much we even edited out, because we uploaded the whole thing of it on our members, or at least the majority.
Yeah,
of it.
I don't know if Aubrey's aware of that, because I don't know if he's a member or was a member, but the mostly unedited version is up for members. The one that's in the public episode was like a 20-minute excerpt or something.
Only because we didn't have an hour in the show to show it. It wasn't because we're trying to hide anything. And there you go. You can see it. Members can still go back and watch.
Really? It wasn't because you were trying to hide anything? You literally said that if you released the entire thing, you would have gotten demonetized in the last episode. Anyway, you can find it here. It's like in the Aubrey small segment, but Ethan's like, what do you want us to do? Release the entire thing and get the episode taken down? So you would have gotten demonetized if you released the entire thing, but now you're saying you're not trying to hide anything. And you just didn't do it because you didn't have like an hour to do the episode.
Watch it. It's like an hour long, unedited. Well, it's edited, but I don't know what we edited out. It was, I think, just for brevity, probably.
Yeah.
I just realized you have the same last name as.
I mean, so again, I should have the context for this, but in the podcast where they played the edited clip, they're like, wow, you did such a good job of editing that and making it look like Jimmy actually had some kind of resolution to his bigotry against little people, because, yeah, Jimmy Lee was being a complete ass to Aubrey Smalls in that conversation they had together, and they edited it to make it look like Jimmy actually had some kind of change of heart and was going to be, you know, more accepting of little people and less bigoted in the amount of jokes that he was going to say. So yes, it was very deceptively edited.
Same.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yours is natural, so maybe his is too.
Right.
So does Biggie.
That's true.
So
I'm sure that, you know, there are people with that last name. I'm just saying it would be an interesting irony.
Yeah.
You know, just like if my last name was Tourette's.
that would be ironic. You're like, damn, he was destined.
What are the chances?
Yeah. Oh no, Ethan. I think we gave away. Yeah, somebody immediately figured out who those messages were
Well,
from
don't
about
say it.
Baroni.
I mean, just because one person.
I mean, it's out there.
Oh, it was Ryan, my good friend Ryan Reynolds.
Fuck. That puts everything into question, man.
Love him as Deadpool. He's so funny.
He's so funny.
His brand of humor stays fresh. For me.
Yeah, no, I'm still rocking that Van Wilder movie.
Golly, man.
2025.
I love how his character hasn't even changed. Like, that's a consistent guy right there.
You love
Playing the
consistency in
same
an actor.
character
You
since
love
95.
consistency.
I love Van Wilder, dude. I can't even
See?
hate on that, dude.
See?
That was my first rated R movie I've ever saw.
There it is.
Honestly, that movie, I don't mind. It's the fact that he has not. I like Gosling. He has a lot more. He's a much better actor.
He's a much
I mean,
better
let's be
actor,
real.
right,
He's got
yes.
way more versatility.
Dude, he's the he fucks.
Loved watching you on the show. Thank you. Blown away by how kind everyone has been. Why would you lie in a DM? There's no incentive.
Maybe he just meant the fans to give him a little grace here. I don't know why I'm giving him grace. He lied to our faces, but
Yeah, he fucking spit in your face. man.
but in this case, you could argue that he was just the fan reaction was positive, which it was. Which again, like nobody was an asshole to you other than Jimmy and Gary, and that's
Literally
that was
what
the
we
reason
told you
that you
what-
came. That was
yeah.
the reason that you came here. So it
It's
should
just
not have been that
ridiculous.
surprising.
Also with these comments, because the previous one,
Okay, so just one thing, like the reason Aubrey said he didn't have a good time on the show is because the show treated him like a comedic bit, not an actual serious educational segment, like Ethan Klein promised him, like Ethan Klein characterized it as, but it was a comedic bit. And even the producer acknowledged that, you know, you did not have the serious segment you were looking for while talking with Jimmy Lee. So like there was a difference between Aubrey having a confrontational discussion with Jimmy Lee, where Jimmy Lee is aware that they are going to have this confrontation and discussion to try to educate people, and what happened with Aubrey being brought on for the comedic shock value of a bigoted comedian faced with a member of the group of people he's bigoted against. It was a sitcom style shock segment where they zoomed in on Jimmy Lee's face when he was suddenly confronted with Aubrey. Oh, you say that you're bigoted against little people? Well, surprise, we have a little person here for you right now. And then they zoom in on his face and the entire crew starts laughing, right? That's the segment that Aubrey Smalls was brought on for. That's not what he signed on for.
that you're reading, he doesn't clarify that it's Jimmy and Gary interrupting him, because I rewatched that extended clip and it's just Gary, or mostly Jimmy, making jokes and interrupting him, which is why he was there. No
Yeah,
one else was talking, just Jimmy and sometimes Gary, not as much.
Yeah.
Yeah, he made it seem like it was us, but obviously, again, whatever,
Silly.
bro.
Whatever. We've covered it.
But let me see what else he's got to say. Just to give him, you know, his lore. Let him hear him out.
Yeah.
By the way, I clarified in my follow-up video, the only time I mentioned H3 by name when I said in front of 50,000 people, I meant the segment would be aired live, not that the first segment was. Okay, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Hold it.
I'm silent watching because they're doxing me on Reddit. The fuck are you accusing us of now?
The fuck up, dude.
And anything
Fucking
I
idiot.
say will contribute to the fire. But this is the first time I'm seeing all these clips, so I just wanted to pop in. We're doxing you now?
Yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about.
This is proof that he's lying.
Yeah.
If we're doxing him on our subreddit, then imagine what actually happened
Right.
during the interview.
Yeah, no, this is a perfect example because what happened was people on Facebook were getting served an ad that he published on Facebook, and they were posting it to our subreddit. It was him advertising that he was looking to like sublet his apartment in New York or.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
And we were taking. Sorry, and we were taking them down.
We were taking them down as they came up, just out of an abundance of caution. But to be clear, that is not what doxing is. You posted an advertisement on Facebook
It's a public video
with your name.
that you literally paid for people to see.
Yes, correct. And people posting that on the subreddit, which again, other than your name, has zero public information. Like it doesn't have your number, it doesn't say where you live, anything like that. And we still took it down. And you're still claiming that you got doxed by a subreddit. Shut the fuck up.
I didn't see it, and I'm, so like, you're welcome.
Shut up!
Okay, so people were posting his address in your subreddit. I feel like that's a distinction without a difference there. And then just like once again, what are they saying that he's lying about? That he was claiming the crew was talking over him and making jokes? That's not what he said. He said the comedians were talking over him and making jokes. Very clear when you watch that segment. Watch the unedited. I mean, it's still kind of edited, but like the full members only segment. Very clear that the comedians were talking over him, making jokes. They were not coming into that as like an educational experience. They were coming into it as a comedic bit. That's what the assumption the comedians were under, not the assumption Aubrey was under. So, come on, dude. Come on, Ethan. Aren't you curious where these comments came from? Come on, watch my stream, Ethan. Watch my stream.
You're welcome for that.
I got his ad on my Facebook, which was weird.
Yeah, tons of people were. It was obnoxious because we kept deleting it because I knew that he would fucking try and say something like
Wait, why did he advertise his apartment to so many people? That must have cost a lot.
It was an ad for him to find a place to live, right?
or something like that. I
he was
forget.
looking for a place
It was
to
a
live.
personal ad. It was a personal ad.
He posted it on, this is my understanding, he posted on one of these places where you look for housing, roommates, whatnot. Gave a lot of information with his real name and all that. And
Was it Smalls?
I think so. But the second we saw it, we put like a red alert. Anyone on our mod team, the crew, remove it if you see it, even though it's not straight up doxing, just to be super
just
cautious.
to look after,
So if something like that was posted, it might have been up for 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes, and then it's removed. So it's absolutely ridiculous to say.
Yeah,
that.
we're doxing you, bro.
Yeah.
It's so ridiculous to say that my subreddit is doxing people when people on my subreddit were posting your address and personal information. Okay, dude. Yeah. So people on your subreddit wanted to dox him, successfully able to. But I guess you guys did a good job of moderating, right? So gotta give them credit for there. But like, why are they attacking him for that? It's literally true. They're posting shit on their subreddit.
But you're right. That tells you everything you need to know about like his like implied like, oh, if only you saw the real thing. It's like this dude, he's a liar.
Yeah,
he's a liar.
if that's what doxing is, then yeah, we were fucking humiliating him on purpose or whatever he wants to say. By the same logic. Someone said they should drop the entire unedited Zoom call. I genuinely would. I immediately when I read that,
the raw footage doesn't exist anymore. But again, I think most people have just seen the public episode, which is like a 20-minute thing. There's like, how long was it, Nate? It's like over an hour, right?
Yeah, it's over an hour, and I think the interview with Aubrey lasts about 20 to 30 minutes. And that's longer than the uploaded version on the public channel, which is like 10 minutes.
There you go. So yeah, there's quite a bit more of it on the members version.
I mean, I don't mind showing it. I just don't think it's interesting. I'd show it on the show. I don't think it's interesting, isn't it?
It's just what you expect. It's Jimmy doing like, well, I guess I won't do it anymore, but then he keeps doing it, and it's like, it's just that.
Being Jimmy.
Yeah.
And if people want to see, it's called Elders through our members episode.
Elders, right? We did a spin.
Elderlies.
On frenemies, elderlies, with him and my old man.
Yeah.
Old timey, just like that, Aubrey. You know about old timey.
Thought he did.
Hold it.
Let's see. Someone on Reddit shared more proof. Is this what I saw? Yeah, it is. We ran out of time, but I wanted to shout out Rich Lux last week. That's true. I love Rich.
But anyway, so yeah, kind of funny, right? He's like, oh, Aubrey posting all of this random stuff. He just wanted to pop in and say hi. Oh, Aubrey's complaining that he's getting harassed every time he opens his mouth. And then he's getting like a personal ad from years ago reposted to their subreddit. But that's not doxing. He's lying about this, so he must be lying about everything else. He's like, oh, why are you so sad that you're getting harassed? Why don't you just shut the fuck up? And it's like he posted 3 times in someone's live chat. Like, I have less than 5,000 subscribers. Aubrey posted 3 times in my live chat, and that was amplified to the point that Ethan Klein is now reacting to it. So it's like every little place Aubrey appears anywhere, he gets blasted for this. So like, oh, you're saying we're harassing you? Well, we are. You're saying we're doxing you? Well, we are. You're saying that we cut you off and made jokes over you? Well, we did, right? But that's what you signed up for, right? Why are you complaining about it? Like, holy shit, dude. All of this started because Aubrey said he had a bad time on your show, and the only thing you've done is continue to prove why Aubrey would have a bad experience on your show. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. This was fun. I mean, this is the closest Ethan's actually come to reacting to me, but that's never gonna happen, right? Anyway, have a great rest of your day, everyone. See ya.